because I watched the Sly documentary, I kind of decided to do a listing of the Rambo movies from, I guess, worst to best. So we'll start off with Rambo Last Blood 2019. So basically, Sylvester Stallone is kind of saving his surrogate daughter from these sex traffickers. And the final fight scene is at the farm that he owns. And he kind of builds this, underground tunnel system. And it's booby-trapped. And he kills off the sex trafficker that are coming after him. It's very gory. Kind of looks almost like a horror movie at one point. It's not the Rambo I thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to deal with, him and his father again, because he went back to his father's farm, in the prior Rambo. So I thought it would be dealing with that. So it didn't go the way I thought. So I didn't think of it as a fitting ending. But we got another Rambo, so I'll take it as that. Fourth would probably be Rambo 3, where Rambo has to basically save his mentor, Colonel Trotman, who's captured by the Russian forces. Solid action scenes, sometimes over-the-top action scenes, but that was its time. I think maybe a little over the top. It was never my favorite either, but it was Rambo. It was Stallone. I had a kick in the theater. Next up would be Rambo 2008. This is after a 20-year gap after the third one. Rambo's basically living in Thailand, and he kind of brings these Christian missionaries. He sneaks them into Burma. They get captured. He kind of goes to rescue them. One of the most goriest Rambos too. That was like the first time like you just saw body parts flying. It wasn't like the cartoonish 80s one, where it's just explosions and he's running and he's dodging the bullets and his hair's flowing. This was gritty, very, very gritty, but I liked it. I enjoyed this one. It's really, really good. If you haven't seen it, highly recommend it. Next up is First Blood Part 2, where Stallone has to go back to Vietnam to see if there's any POWs left. Of course, he does find them, and then there's all hell breaks loose. Very slick action sequences. It's the beginning of the Rambo. It's in the 80s, so it's big explosions, big gunfights, and it was part of that era. It was the fun part. I enjoyed it. I think James Cameron kind of wrote the screenplay somewhere in there, if I remember correctly. It's a little tidbit for on the side. Of course, the first one is the best one in my opinion. The character is very grounded. It's a good action flick, but it's a very grounded action flick where Stallone comes to his hometown to see if one of the last members of his squad is still alive, and finds out that he dies of cancer. As Stallone is in the town, of course, the sheriff doesn't like drifters, and of course the battle ensues in the forest. So very good movie. If you haven't seen this one, it's fantastic. Highly recommended. And those are my best. So the First Blood will be the best one for sure. But that's my list. You let me know what you think. Do you enjoy the Rambo series? What did you think of the last one? Did you think was it a good one? I'd like to hear from you. If you can, I really appreciate it if you hit that like button and subscribe to the channel.